If 1966 pushed music toward experimentation, 1967 kicked the doors off the studio. This was the summer of love, the year psychedelia exploded into mainstream radio, the year artists realized they could bend sound, structure, and storytelling in ways nobody had tried before. Rock wasn't just entertainment anymore, it was identity. These are the songs that defined 1967, not just because they were hits, but because they captured the moment music changed forever. Let's start with something that felt like stepping into another dimension. A Day in the Life, the Beatles. This wasn't a song in the traditional sense. It was two ideas colliding, Lennon's haunting verses and McCartney's everyday urgency, stitched together by orchestral chaos. The famous crescendo sounds like the entire orchestra falling down a staircase at once. And when the final piano chord rings out, it lingers for nearly a minute. 1967 proved a rock song could feel like cinema. Now let's move to something colorful, surreal, and instantly recognizable. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, the Beatles. Dreamlike imagery, shifting tempo, a soundscape built around swirling organs and echoing guitars. Whether people argued about the meaning or not, the message was clear. Music was entering the psychedelic era. Now let's pivot to something revolutionary in a different way. Respect, Aretha Franklin. Otis Redding wrote it. Aretha Franklin transformed it. What had once been a request became a demand. The rhythm, the vocal power, the confidence. 1967 wasn't just about sonic experimentation. It was about voices claiming space. Now let's talk about a song that captured the spirit of an entire generation. All You Need Is Love, the Beatles. Broadcast live across the world during the first global satellite TV event. Imagine that moment. Millions of people watching the same performance at the same time. And the message couldn't have been simpler. Love. In a decade filled with tension and protest, this song became a global statement. Now let's bring in something that sounds like pure sunshine. Happy Together won the Turtles. Bright harmonies, perfect pop structure, and one of the most unforgettable choruses of the decade. It knocked the Beatles out of the #1 spot on the charts, and it proved that in the middle of psychedelic experimentation, simple joy still worked. Now let's pivot to something heavier, something electric. Purple Haze, Jimi Hendrix. And the guitar tone alone changed rock forever. Distorted, fluid, otherworldly. Hendrix didn't just play guitar, he reshaped what people thought the instrument could do. 1967 introduced the idea that rock musicians could be sonic innovators. Now let's talk about something soulful. Soulman, Sam and Dave. Powerful vocals, driving rhythm, pure intensity. It wasn't subtle, it was commanding. And it reminded everyone that Southern soul could hit just as hard as psychedelic rock. Next, something haunting and unforgettable. White Rabbit, Jefferson Airplane. Grace Slick's voice climbs like a staircase through the song, each verse building tension, until the final line hits like a declaration. Feed Your Head, 1967 leaned into surreal storytelling, and audiences embraced it. Now let's bring in something poetic and reflective. Light My Fire, We're the Doors. That organ intro, hypnotic, mysterious. Then Jim Morrison enters with a voice that sounded like midnight itself. The song stretched past 7 minutes on the album version, unheard of for radio at the time. But it worked, because the atmosphere pulled listeners in. Finally, let's close with something that felt timeless the moment it arrived. San Francisco, Be Sure to Wear Flowers in Your Hair, Scott McKenzie. This song didn't just play on the radio, it became an invitation, an anthem for the summer of love. Young people across the country heading west, searching for something new, searching for connection, searching for change. And that's what made 1967 extraordinary. Music wasn't just evolving, it was becoming the soundtrack to a cultural shift. Psychedelia, soul, folk rock, garage rock, studio experimentation, all happening at the same time. And somehow all of it worked. If one of these songs defines 1967 for you, drop it in the comments. Because next up, and the music starts getting darker, keep that turntable spinning.